Damien Barrett and welcome to the 2016 wash-up for the Gold Coast Suns. Another tough season for the Queensland team, and they would have found it galling to watch the Giants fly past them up the ladder. Matthew Lloyd.
Yeah, after such a promising start to the year, Damien, they've wanted the season to end maybe 5 weeks ago, just due to their lack of personnel, injuries, players wanting to leave. It's just been a horror year for both Queensland clubs.
Going through a really ugly patch at the moment. Now the chairman and leader of the club, Tony Cochrane, making some very strange noises publicly, very challenging, very threatening even on certain players who want to leave the club, and they've got a really ugly patch ahead too, I think.
And you just wonder, is there going to be others who want to leave as well? So it's just going to be a big off-season for the Gold Coast Suns.
It will. We'll start with highlights, as we do in these wash-ups. I think their Suns' future, it looks okay. I thought Alex Sexton had a pretty good season under all the circumstances, Lord. I thought Touk Miller was simply outstanding for the context in which he played his footy as well. There's also hope with Jesse Lonigan and Jesse Joyce, and also Jack Martin, who got together some really good form in the sort of, I suppose, third of the way through to the season to maybe the 2/3 of the way through the season. I thought the future that we knew was going to come with him was finally here in an AFL perspective.
And I think they've got around 6 picks in the first 25 of the draft, so they'll be fine for young talent. They've just got to try and keep them. My highlight is the power 3 forwards, whether it be Peter Wright, Tom Lynch or Sam Day. Some of these highlights are magnificent for a team that was non-competitive for most of the year, and you wouldn't have wanted to be a forward in this side. Tom Lynch should make All-Australian. I think his year's been as good as anyone's, considering the lack of supply he's had. And Peter Wright, he's only going to get better. And Sam Day, he may be the centre fullback with Steve May, in the side. So great bookends there.
Okay. Low light, I think it is just the 10 matches in a row they lost after winning initially the opening 3 of the season. There was a 5-match stretch, Lordo, amongst those 10 losses where they lost by an average of nearly 90 points. And you can't sustain that, can you? And I think when it came as it did in that stage of the season, I think it set the scene for the ultimate departures of O'Meara and Prestia and the unknown about David Swallow.
I agree with that, because those guys would have stayed possibly had there been a strong year, but without that, those guys have decided to leave. My low light is just the injuries. Not having your first 6 choice midfielders in the team. Gary Ablett going down again. Just not seeing actually. It was Swallow and O'Meara didn't play 1 game for the club. That was just devastating for the Gold Coast Suns.
And in O'Meara's case, the second year in a row where that has happened. It's time to mark the Suns out of 10. And look, I could have gone 2, but I've ended up going 3. It's sort of academic, isn't it?
Yeah, I've given them 3 as well. You give them a point maybe just for the injuries that they've suffered.
OK, we have to give some Christmas bonuses, and we've already highlighted this man in the short time we've been talking. But Touk Miller, Lotto, I just really liked what he did, because others around him didn't step up. And I think you need to give some plaudits to people who, in dire times, do show something that they hadn't shown prior. And I just thought he provided a spark. He uses the ball pretty well, and Rodney Eade knows he's got a man who will have a crack every single time he runs out. Yeah,
I was fortunate enough to coach against Touk Miller maybe 4 or 5 years ago in school footy, and he's just such a smart footballer. We couldn't get the ball past him. He's that good. My bonus is Stephen May. Just feel that the second half of the year, after he came back from suspension, watch some of these highlights, just hit the competitive nature, the will to win by Steve May was really brilliant. So I just think they've found someone there. We all knew he had the capabilities, but he had off-field misdemeanours, he had some issues, but he had a ripper year in the back half.
And seems to breathe the club, doesn't he? But that's going to be the challenge. They need to provide an environment for him to want to stay. Chopping block time for the Suns in this wash-up. I just think it is now time, Lordo, for Gary Ablett to just stop doing what he doesn't want to do, and that is captain this footy club. And there is a man there who nearly and probably should have got it this year, Tom Lynch. He's right to go. It's just time now to sever that official #1 leadership role with Gary Ablett.
Yeah, no-brainer for mine, that one as well. My chopping block is Brandon Matera, not to be delisted, but I think he's stagnated at the Suns. He's just, I feel it's time that he maybe came to Melbourne and played in the heartland, and I think he's a star. But we're just not seeing that at the Suns this year. OK, Rodney Eade started coaching way back in 1996 at the Swans. He's now at his 3rd club, and he's never been able to get away from this, and we love it. Oh, yeah, just the emotions. You see guys like Adam Simpson who don't want to do anything in the box. He's the opposite. He just lets it go. And poor Normie Dare sitting beside him. Watch this one. He goes that hard. He jumps in his chair through to the disbelief. Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant to see.
There's so many areas in which they need to improve and get better for in 2017, and simply what has to happen, Lordo, as a starting point and as a given, is to just stop the players, the big-name players who feel the need to leave the club. And obviously Prestia leaving, O'Meara leaving, David Swallow unknown. Other names to come. It comes on the back of Bennell and Dixon. They just need to create an environment, and I don't know how they do it, given what they've dished up in the past couple of years, whereby it's better for the players that want to stay.
Yeah, I agree with that. And for mine, it's reaching the finals next year. There's no excuses left for the Suns, and that's just what they have to do, Damo, because the Giants have taught them how they do it. Top 4. They've got to be aiming for that around that top 8 mark next year. Otherwise, Rodney Eade might be in trouble himself.
Yeah, well, so far into their early life in AFL, this was the year they were meant to be going up, not back, and I agree with you. OK, time to predict where they will be in 2017. I've got them going up, but I've got them going nowhere near the finals you referred to, Lordo, but I just think they get up to the 10-11 win game. I think that needs to be their goal.
Oh, that would be fantastic if they could get there. I'm saying they go up, and if everything goes right for them, they could be knocking on the door of the 8.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Damon.
And thank you for watching the wash-up for the Suns in 2016.